Hey, it's Ray. So I wanted to do a video today, and I've been kind of working at my makeup station all day, and I wanted to do a video pretty much on that. So a little background, you guys have seen my video on my phase 1 of my makeup storage and whatnot, and I said that I would take you through the process of me organizing it, and it is coming along. So this is kind of be a video that ties into the phases of my makeup storage and me getting it together. So the thing that I don't have a problem with having a large collection. I'm not saying my collection is huge, but I don't have a problem with having a large collection, but I do have issues with clutter, so that's why I need things to be organized and everything to have its place. And also, I share this room, I live here with my girlfriend, and just in general, I don't want my room to be the makeup room. This is my bedroom, and this is where I keep my things, and this is where I do my makeup, and this is where I store my makeup for when I go out and do jobs. But I don't want it to become a storage room or a makeup room. This is my bedroom, and so I want it to look as such, and the area that I showed you where I keep my makeup, I don't want it to grow outside of that. My makeup collection can continue to grow within that, but I don't want it to grow outside of that. So when it comes to organizing, I have to be really tactful and make the best out of the space that I have, because I don't want the space to grow. So with that being said, I tend to depot a lot of things and get rid of unnecessary things. So if I'm not going to use it, I just don't keep it, especially because I need to make space for things that I'm actually going to use. So I went to the Personal Holiday event this past weekend. If you want to hear about my experience, I'm not going to be talking about it here. You can go watch Crystal Powdervision's video. I had the same experience she did because we went to San Diego together. So if you're curious about what happened and what went down, go watch her video. But what I did win the silent auction for some Z palettes. And so I wanted to kind of show you guys how I compromised, or compressed is the word that I'm looking for, some of my things because I got these Z palettes. So I'm big on palettes, but I got a few Z palettes. So I got this small pink one. I won 5 in the auction. I gave Crystal 2 and we split the cost. But I paid a little bit more, so I got the little extra one, if that makes sense. So I got the little pink one. I also got this black one here, which I guess is the newer kind of pro size. And I also got this cheetah one here. And you can see that the black one is just slightly a bit bigger at the top. They're the same width, but the height is a little bit different. So I think this is supposed to be the new pro size, and I've already started working on that one. But this is really the palette that I'm going to be talking about in this video. So this is the Cheetah Z palette. It's the standard size and whatnot. So about the Z palette, quick little mini review. I like them. They're pretty sturdy. They're not as sturdy as some palettes can be. I think that they're more sturdier than my MAC palettes. But there are other palettes out there, like the Uni palette, which is industrial status, throw it across the room and all your shadows still be legit. But I don't it's not that I don't like the Uni palette, but they're not as big and you can't see through. Now the see-through is a plus and a minus for me. The plus is that I can see what I'm grabbing. I have 2 MAC palettes right now. One is blush and one is eyeshadow. And I do need to label them, but that's an extra step I have to take just to know what's inside before I open it. I'll grab it thinking I'm going to do some eyeshadow and all I have is cheek colors and I'm like, what? So I do like that. The downside of the clear that I don't like is that you have to keep this clean. Once you get a bunch of shadows on the clear part and stuff, it just looks not neat and makes your kit look dirty. And you have to keep closed palettes clean as well, but it's a little bit easier to disguise when it's a little bit dirty versus just this clear surface where it's your palette's dirty, And then 2, I don't think it looks as good. All of these shadows are the same size from the same brand. And then I have a few cheek colors over here, and I'll explain what shadows these are in a second. But when you mix and match, and I know that's the beauty of a Z palette, is that you can put, different size and different shapes because it's freestyle. And that's great. But I don't like how it looks when you have square shadows and large circles and then some little circles and it's all kind of jumbled up, because to me that looks cluttered, and like I said earlier, I don't like clutter. So that's kind of my downside of the Z palette. And so you might be like, well, why even get a Z palette? For these particular shadows, I was going to get a Yabby palette. These aren't Yabby shadows, but but I thought they were the same size. I got a Yabby palette, a Yabby shadow this past weekend at Purse Buzz's holiday event, and they are smaller. So if I would have bought one, these wouldn't have fit, and I would have just had a Yabby palette and then I guess my one little Yabby shadow to put in it. So I'm glad that I didn't order that one. But the good thing, even though, you know, it's a freestyle palette, but I'm going to pretty much try to keep the same size shadows in one, is because without the dividers, you can fit more in here, you know? So I do like that. And if I ever get over my clutter issue, I might mix and match sizes and shapes in one palette. But for the most part, I'm probably going to keep them uniform because I think it looks better. So that's just my personal opinion. But I love this thing, and I'm going to talk about this palette now and where it came from. So my mom is not the biggest like department store, or like, she really doesn't know too much about makeup herself in general, but she knows that her daughter's a makeup artist, a makeup enthusiast, and I just love it in general. So she does get me stuff, you know, and she gets it just because she saw it, or it'll be a Christmas present or a birthday present or whatever and whatnot. So I have a few palettes here, and I'm going to kind of break down these palettes really quick. So here's one. I have another one that looks like this with like the zebra on the outside, and then I have another small one that looks like this. And these are, I believe, do not quote me, from the brand Color Fusion. And my mom gets these at like DD's Discounts, Marshalls, and TJ Maxx and Ross. They'll be in the beauty section. I've seen them myself at stores like that, and they usually range from about $3 to maybe $7. Now I'm going to do a quick comparison. So this is the Color Fusion one that my mom got for me, and this is one I purchased for myself, and it's from e.l.f. and it's the Little Black Beauty Book, and it looks like this on the inside. And if you're familiar with e.l.f. shadows, you know that e.l.f. shadows are pretty good quality, especially for the price. I find that I have no problems at all with e.l.f. shadows with a primer. Some of them are a little without a primer, but I always use a primer anyway, either on myself or my clients. So I don't have any issues with, you know, e.l.f. products. So this is the e.l.f. one, the Little Black Book, and this is the one. Now the colors aren't the same, obviously. Like, these are warm colors, and these are pretty much all cooler colors. Some of the lip colors cross over, but these are exactly the same thing. Like, I would not be surprised if these were produced by the same like manufacturer or anything. Like the palette, the packaging exactly the same, except this is black and pleathery, and this is like metallic pink and like textured. But they're the exact same thing. So I feel about these shadows the same way I feel about e.l.f. shadows. So that's what I have in this palette. These are shadows from my two larger ones. These are empty right now. These are just the casings for them because I wanted to show you what they look like. So I'm going to kind of put one back together really quick so you can kind of get a feel for how this works. But there's two sides to these, just like in the smaller one. And it comes pretty much like this. So when you open it up, it looks like this. And so there's shadows in a mirror. And in this one, there's some cheek colors, some highlighters, and some lip colors down there. So that's how these come. And all you really have to do is pry these out. Like this little kind of palette section is literally just like hot glued into here, and really only at the four corners, so it's not hard to pull it out. So all I did was pull that out, and I used a lighter, and you can see how much this is like melted and whatnot. I used a lighter to heat up the shadows on the underside, and I pushed them up with the back of my tweezers, and then I just pop out the shadows, which are in their own personal pans, and I put them in my Z palette. And I organized them by color because I like for things to be organized. Obviously, that's kind of what this video is about. And I do like some of the cheek colors in here, so I kept a few of them that I actually really liked. And what I like about this is these palettes, the ones that are from Marshalls, the Color Fusion ones, are like really bulky when you put them together. Like, I had a hard time figuring out how to store these. I had one sitting out, the zebra one sitting out, and I had this one in a drawer, and it was taking up so much room in that drawer. Like, this is really pretty big, and when you compare, it's like one of these is the size of it. And yes, Z palette's a little bit like longer, but that's okay. And, you know, I got rid of two of these because I didn't use all the shades in them and whatnot. So I got rid of two of these and compressed it into one of these, and now my drawer with, like, this took up like half that drawer that it was in, and now it's going in the trash, and I have space for my collection to grow. So that's all I'm saying. It's kind of like a Z palette review, kind of like an organizational video all in one. In my black one, I'm actually currently depotting some face powders that I have. And these are the Maybelline Fit Me powders. I love these powders. I might do a review on them eventually, on how I feel about them, how I use them. I know a lot of people may or may not like them. They're drugstore powders, but I do use these in my kit. The only reason why I didn't finish this one is because my lighter ran out of lighter fluid and I need to go buy another lighter so that I can finish depotting. But I love these. I'm officially in love with these. I think I might make a small lip palette since this is pink. I feel like, you know, it would be cute to make a little lip palette and melt down some lipsticks and put them into some pans. But I haven't really decided. I might just keep this one for personal use. I don't know. But that's kind of where I was going with this video, is that if you have limited space, you know, make it work. And the last one is, which I'll probably maybe show this in the same video. This is my MAC blush palette. These are not MAC blushes. These are NYX cream blushes. The ones that look like this. That's a MAC blush. Lies. The ones that look like this. I depotted them into a MAC palette, which looks like this. Again, I tried to find videos on how to depot these and if they could be depotted, and I finally just went for it and depotted them on my own and I figured it out. So I'll do a video on that too, in case anybody wants to depot those as well. I did find a blog about depotting NYX shadows, but I couldn't do it that way that she did it. I'll link the blog below if I can find it. And she also said that hers don't fit and she had to take out the divider, which I'm going to explain this really quick. The old packaging, the pans do fit these perfectly. The new packaging don't, and I have both in here. And when I show you the video, I'll show you how to that you can fit either size packaging into here without popping out the divider. There's no shame in popping out the divider because you can then you can fit 2 more colors in there if you'd like. I only had 6 colors, so I didn't really want to pop out the divider. So I figured out a way to fit them all in there without popping out the divider. And I love it, and it looks great. And this is one of my new loves. And again, instead of having 6 of these, taking up a whole section in the drawer, I just have one of these that now fits onto my DVD rack. So that's what I have for this video for you today. And until my next video, I will see you all soon. Bye.